The most anticipated clash between Naoya the Monster Inoue and TJ Doheny has finally come to an end, and the boxing community have given their shocking reactions.
Yeah, it's the muscle right above my hip, Sean. I just can't use my leg.
All of a sudden felt the leg go dead, right?
Right leg. I tried to push off. When I come back out, I tried to push off, and I went, nah.
Yeah, you could see it then.
Before the anticipated bout, the boxing community had a very different response to the clash. Legendary boxing coach Teddy Atlas acknowledged that Naoya Inoue's upcoming fight against TJ Doheny is not against a top-tier opponent, but defends it by stating that it's acceptable. Teddy stated that every once in a while, a top-tier fighter deserves to prey on easier fighters.
Yeah, you keep him active. Obviously, he's the monster. You know, you want to keep him out there. People want to see the monster. You know, it doesn't matter if Godzilla every once in a while, you know, chomps on somebody a little smaller, you know, and goes and bites the head off of Maltha's little brother. That's okay. It's all right. It's still Godzilla. We want to see Godzilla. We want to see the monster. We want to see you know, these top guys, they're heroes. He's a hero. He's got a country behind him. You know, not everyone has a country behind him. He deserves it. Paulie said it, right? The guy deserves an easy one, if you want to call it an easy one. And I'll call it an easy one for the most part. You know, 37 years old.
Atlas acknowledges that Doheny might not be at his peak anymore, but still considers him a solid fighter who will make the match interesting. He explains that while Doheny may not pose a serious threat like some of Inoue's past opponents, he will bring a level of competitiveness that keeps the fight engaging. Teddy Atlas highlights that Inoue has already faced many of the best fighters out there, so it's understandable that he might need a less demanding fight now. He also emphasizes that Inoue's fight against Doheny is a good opportunity for him to stay active without overexerting himself. Atlas added, even if Inoue is fighting someone less significant, the spectacle of seeing him in action remains valuable. Furthermore, former professional boxer Roy Jones Jr. praised Naoya Inoue, calling him a bad dude.
There's another tornado brewing over there in the name of Inoue.
He just won.
That is a bad dude, you hear me? Say what you want, I know he way over there in Japan or wherever he is, but that is a bad dude.
Jones acknowledges that Inoue doesn't get as much attention in the US, partly because he fights in a weight class that lacks high-profile opponents. This limited exposure affects how his talent is perceived on a global scale. Jones added, the one that we did have, look what he did to him. So he really won pound for pound, but because you don't have the opposition to prove it, I gotta leave him there right now. Jones compared Inoue's situation to a past example where another great fighter had a similar problem. This previous fighter was also considered one of the best, but struggled to fully prove it, because they didn't have enough strong opponents to fight. It may be a bit of a catch, but Inoue is clearly talented. Without more big fights, it's hard to prove he's the top fighter globally. In a recent interview, Doheny's manager Mike Altamura discussed the strategy needed to combat Inoue's dynamic offensive style. Altamura noted that Inoue had a diverse array of punches and was very fast on his feet, but he tended not to move his head much. According to Altamura, this lack of head movement could present countering opportunities for TJ, who needed to stay sharply focused on the game plan. Mike stated, TJ is going to have to deactivate certain weapons of Inoue, who is very dynamic offensively and has a really nice kit of punches. He's very fast with his feet, but he doesn't move his head a lot, though. I think there are going to be opportunities there for TJ to counter him and to walk him into shots, but he's got to be really switched on to the game plan. On the other hand, TJ Doheny stated that he is a world-class fighter, and he proves that he is different from Naoya Inoue.
But it's a rude awakening then when it comes fight night, when you're in there. You know, there's a big difference between being world-class and being world-ranked, you know. And I'm a proven world-class fighter.
Eddie Hearn had urged fight fans to speak out against TJ Doheny getting a chance to fight Naoya Inoue. According to Hearn, the matchup had been a horrendous mismatch. Hearn claimed that Top Rank had misled fans by promoting the fight as competitive. He had practically begged for changes to ensure that Inoue faced a truly competitive opponent. Conveniently, Hearn suggested that the only real competitive fight for Inoue would have been against one of his own fighters, Murodjon Akhmadaliev. While being furious at Bob Arum from Top Rank, Eddie Hearn said, "What drives me mental about Bob Arum is he's a liar. I've never heard of Akhmadaliev. Come on. The only competitive fight in the division for Inoue is Akhmadaliev. I'm appealing to Bob Arum, Mr. Honda, Inoue. Don't give us a mismatch. I'm sorry. Inoue versus Doheny is a horrendous mismatch. Don't lie to us." And to fight fans, rather than just praising Inoue, who's an amazing fighter. Don't take this Akhmadaliev has got a better chance than anybody, and he'll give you a great fight. In addition, professional boxer Stephen Fulton advised Inoue that he should continue advancing in his current weight class while being mindful of the physical toll boxing takes on the body.
I mean, I'm not sure. Keep climbing that ladder until you can't climb it no more. I mean, I feel like that's how I would do it. Or unless you feel like you're reaching that peak within your body and your age range.
Reflecting on Naoya Inoue's last fight against Luis Nery, Fulton shared his thoughts on the bout, noting that he anticipated Inoue would knock Nery down in the first round. He describes the fight as a strong performance and commends both fighters for their efforts. Fulton added, Inoue came back and found his rhythm, kept his distance, and let those right hands go. Fulton also reflected on the quality of the bout, emphasizing Inoue's impressive recovery and skill throughout the match. Sam Goodman said that he had beaten TJ Doheny, putting him down and making him run all around the ring after the initial knockdown. Despite his efforts, Goodman felt he had never received the credit he deserved. The opponent had been an old man when Goodman defeated him, but now, with another chance, he was being recognized as a good fighter once more.
Yeah, when I beat him, I put him down, I made him run all around the ring after I did put him down, and I never really got the credit for it. He was an old man when I beat him, but now he's got the shot, so he's a good fighter again. But I don't know.
While reflecting on Naoya Inoue's bout with Luis Nery, boxing trainer Greg Hackett observed that Inoue initially adjusted to Nery's cautious approach, which then enabled him to adopt a more aggressive strategy and deliver powerful punches.
Inoue, at first, I think he was looking to counter Nery. He was looking for Nery to shoot some shit at him, but Nery was like trying to watch him. He wasn't going out there just firing on him. So Inoue started early. He started firing. But I think he believed that because Nery wasn't throwing back every time, that he was going to get through one of those times and hit him with some hard shit. So if you look at that shot, when Inoue threw that uppercut, he lifted up in the air. He was high up in the air. His right hand was sitting up under his chin. And he threw that shot. He was really trying to land that shot, that left uppercut. And it came from a crazy angle.
Greg Hackett discussed how Inoue adapted his approach after an initial misstep in the fight against Luis Nery. After getting dropped in the first round, Inoue recalibrated his strategy significantly. He realized that his earlier approach of trying to land big, flashy shots wasn't working, and instead caused him to be vulnerable. By the second round, Inoue shifted to a more disciplined style. He kept his hands up, eliminated the wild, looping punches, and began focusing on precise, straight punches. This change in tactics helped him land clean shots and eventually score a knockdown against Nery. Hackett notes that Inoue's newfound composure and strategy paid off as the fight progressed. By the third round, Inoue was clearly taking control, showcasing a more methodical approach with short, effective combinations. Despite not hurting Nery severely, Inoue improved technique and mental adjustments allowed him to start separating himself from Nery. As the fight continued into the 5th and 6th rounds, Inoue's disciplined approach led to another knockdown and eventually a stoppage. Hackett added, Inoue had to calm down, you know what I mean, he had to sharpen up. That's all it was, a good fight though, real good. The fight he looked really composed after the knockdown though, took his time, didn't rush up. The Japanese superstar Inoue himself had believed that the Australian-based 37-year-old Doheny would come with the same approach. As a result, he had planned to beat the power to the big punch. To win this fight, I have to concentrate and knock him out. That's the only thing I keep in mind as I head into this fight. That's what I'm visualizing now. I know in my mind what I need to do. Doheny is a fighter who doesn't want to win by decision. That's why I have to be careful. The undisputed champion went into the fight as a massive favorite, but paid no heed to the bookies' odds. The monster said he had to be wary of the former world champion who was undefeated in Japan. I am conscious that I have to be alert, be on guard. I have pushed myself so hard. I am proud to say I practiced the hardest of my career for this. On the other end, Doheny said that everything was in perfect condition, and he couldn't have asked to be in a better position. He felt honored to be challenging for the undisputed world championship. Everything is in perfect condition, and I couldn't ask to be in a better position right now, and I'm really honored to be challenging for the undisputed world championship. Charlie Edwards said that Inoue definitely had it all, but he questioned whether, at some stage, the size would catch up with him. Edwards acknowledged that Inoue was very powerful and a skilled boxer, but he believed that eventually the weight division might catch up with him.
He's definitely got it all, isn't he? But it's just whether, like, at some stage the size is gonna catch up. Like, he's a very powerful, and he's a very good boxer. But at some stage, the weight division will catch up, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just the way it goes. You can't like be outgrowing weights and going all the way up. We see it happen.
Furthermore, as a boxing man and a lifelong boxing enthusiast, Doheny believed that anyone who held an undisputed world championship deserved the utmost respect. He noted that, despite Inoue being his opponent, this respect remained unchanged. However, Doheny acknowledged that come Tuesday night, respect would need to be set aside until after the fight. He further added, as a boxing man, a boxing lifer, anybody that holds an undisputed world championship, they deserve the utmost respect. So just because he, Inoue, is my opponent, that doesn't make it any different. But we know come Tuesday night, we'll have to leave the respect out the window till after the fight. Furthermore, Naoya Inoe shared his thoughts on evaluating other fighters and what he looks for when assessing their strength. He explains that, in his view, the most crucial factors are an opponent's overall skill set, power, and speed. Inoue emphasized that these elements play a significant role in determining how strong or impressive a fighter is. For him, it's not just about individual attributes, but how well a fighter combines these traits to present a formidable challenge. He appreciates fighters who excel in these areas because it showcases their true competitive edge and ability. Moreover, YouTuber Powcast highlights that while TJ Doheny has fought notable opponents and earned his shot, he faces a formidable challenge against the dominant and skilled Inoue.
That's a different conversation altogether. Naoya Inoue will always be a tough opponent against everyone. And that includes TJ Doheny, who has already in an advanced age at 37 years old.
Powcast explains why TJ Doheny was selected to fight Inoue instead of other top-ranked contenders. Doheny's recent performances have been noteworthy. He has fought his last 3 bouts in Japan, where he has gained significant recognition and popularity. This exposure in Japan has not only increased his profile, but also earned him respect within the local boxing community. Doheny's ranking is another crucial factor. He's ranked number 2 with the WBO and holds a solid position with the IBF, making him a strong challenger. Powcast added on TJ, Doheny is noted for his recent successes and experience but faces a tough challenge against the younger and formidable Inoue. Meanwhile, Bob Arum had obviously disagreed with Hearn and went on to make the fight. He claimed that the former world champion from Ireland could not be overlooked, particularly when he fought in Japan. TJ Doheny is a veteran who can never be counted out, as he's defied the odds many times when fighting in Japan. Arum also pointed out that there would be interest regardless of whom the Japanese fighter faced. Naoya Inoue is a generational talent, and every time he fights, the boxing world stops to watch the master at work. What are your thoughts on the intense clash between TJ Doheny and Naoya Inoue? How do you feel the predictions have changed? Let us know in the comments section below, and subscribe for more content like this.